Why don't you get serious already?
Hey, what's good? It's Rockman, and I decided to do a little something special because I was able to get access to Juri through some unscrupulous means. And right now, this is just me looking at her walk speed and her dash speed, which is pretty decent. Her forest walk speed is pretty good. Her back walk speed is pretty I think they kept her same animations. This is gonna be pretty much me just going through her normals, going through her special attacks, her unique attacks, and just seeing what everything does, and just getting a general feel for the character. I know she's unfinished, completely unfinished. She seems pretty solid. It's most likely gonna adjust like frame data and stuff like that. So keep that in mind. I say reserve final judgments till the game is actually till she's in the game. That being said, I can't wait. So here we go. Right now, I'm just looking at her standing jab. It's pretty quick. Again, I don't have frame data in front of me, and I really didn't want to go into like trying to get the frame data since it'll be inaccurate anyway. But it looks like it's either 3 or 4 frames. I'm not sure. It is cancelable, of course, like most jabs are. So pretty good. This is her standing medium punch, which is pretty decent. I think it reaches a little bit further than her old standing medium punch did. It's a little more stylish. Again, also cancelable. Not her flip kick doesn't combo off of it, I don't think, but it is cancelable. Then that's her standing fierce, which looks reminiscent of her old standing fierce. I can't remember if it was cancelable, and I don't believe it was, but this one is, and it combos into most stuff because it has so much hit stuff. So it is pretty good. And I believe this is her standing short. So standing short seems pretty decent. I don't know if I tested to see if this was cancelable or not. I probably did. I don't think it was. Let me see if I actually do it on the video, actually. I'm watching this at the same time I'm talking. I'm not doing recording at the same time. It is cancelable. So it's pretty good. Decently fast. Probably like it's about 5. Or 4 or 5. That's her standing medium kick. Standing forward. Good range. Like most standing forwards, is not cancelable from what I can tell. Again, that may change in the final release, but at least from what I could tell from when I was trying out, it wasn't cancelable. That's her standing roundhouse. Which reminds me of her old standing roundhouse. It's a little more stylized now. It looks a little cooler. It's like a little double dragon drop kick. I like that a lot of her moves look like a lot more, a lot better animated, a lot smoother, a lot more stylized. She looks like a lot more, I don't know what the word I'm looking for, like sexy or sleeker, that kind of deal. It is also her crush counter. And if you move in, you can actually connect with the standing fierce into stuff, including her critical art. So that's her crouching jab rather. That looks like it's probably, I'm going off old Juri frame data, so I'm not like thinking of what it is in this game, but it is cancelable. It looks like it's probably either 3 or 4 frames. That's her crouching medium punch. Again, cancelable. No surprise there. Her flip kick, I think depends on the version you use, like the light kick, flip kick works. EXs go out of it pretty easily. That's her crouching fierce, which is different because her old crouching fierce went straight up, and this one's more of an angle. So it's not as, I want to say it's easy to anti-air with. It wasn't in cross Tekken per se. But again, it's cancelable. You probably won't hit with that too much on the ground, but it seems decent enough. It's probably her max damage, I'm not sure. But yeah, as an anti-air, it's decent. But I found that if you did a bit late, it would trade, which is kind of obnoxious. And now we're looking at her crouching short, which is pretty decent, not cancelable from what I could tell. I try my very best to do that. Somebody that's better than me can probably confirm it, but I couldn't cancel it. Then her crouching, her crouching forward kick is actually cancelable, and it has decent reach. The thing about it though is if you actually try and do her DP off of it, if you're not at the right range, it will whiff completely. So you have to be pretty close to get the DP off of it, from what I could tell. The flip kick seems to work pretty well. But yeah, her flip kick, the light one seems to do okay, but like the heavier two that go in the air will miss if you're at the wrong range, like there. And even EX, from what I could tell, will also miss if you're at the wrong range. So you have to do that one pretty close to get the DP out of it to connect. Her sweep is okay. That's her jumping jab. It's a standard jumping jab, so no surprise there. Jumping medium, or her jumping strong is actually the way it used to be, which I thought it wasn't going to be that way, where it can still juggle. but apparently it still does cause a air juggle state. So that's pretty dope. You know, the standard things you think would work off it do work, but unfortunately you cannot get two jumping strongs out of it. Like I think that was in Street Fighter 4 and in Cross Tekken, I'm not sure. But you can't do that. So just one strong and then into business. I believe this is her jumping fierce, which is a bit different. And she doesn't have her split kick anymore either, just to get that out there. But this is more. It looks very similar to her grounded roundhouse. But it hits very deep. Like I'm testing here how deep it can actually hit. It hits pretty deep. I'm not sure how deep I get it, but that's what she said. It hits pretty deep, pretty damn deep into the opponent's hitbox. So I don't think that's too bad. That's her jumping short. That's one of her cross ups. It's pretty decent. Very light hit stun, as expected. So it can be a little bit obnoxious to combo off of without a jab or a short. And of course, crouch short doesn't really cancel or anything. So what you can get off of is pretty limited. But you can get something like that with the DP. And then her jump forward is actually a cross up, which I wasn't expecting because they didn't do that for say Cammy, which is weird. I don't know why Cammy doesn't get her jump forward as a cross up or her anything else. She has jump short as a cross up. It's annoying. But I guess because she has dive kick, thought it was okay. But since Juri doesn't have a dive kick anymore, but I'll get into that later. They gave her that. But yeah, it's a good cross up. Crosses up pretty well, so you get pretty good business out of it. Seems to cross up pretty deep too. So it's probably, to me, it's probably an easier cross up between the two. Her jump roundhouse looks really cool, but it doesn't really serve too much of a purpose other than being a jumping roundhouse for you to get a jump in off of. It doesn't hit as deep as Jump Fierce does, from what I can tell. I tried to hit deep as possible, but it's a bit slower to come out. I don't have frame data in front of me, so I'm just kind of going off of what I see. I could try and do frame data like frame by frame, but I think that'd be pointless at this point since she's not even released yet. So I'm just kind of theorizing stuff and seeing how it looks together. And yeah, I think we've gone through all her normals, so I'm just kind of playing here to make sure I didn't miss any important normals. And I'm probably going to get into her unique attacks next, if I remember the order of the footage correctly. And I know me. And yeah, so I should be doing, yeah. I believe that is just, towards and punch twice, if I recall correctly. I don't have the movements in front of me. Seems pretty decent. Also seems very unsafe. So that's definitely combo fodder. It is cancelable, I believe, on either hit from what I tested. Then there's our overhead, which I'm kind of annoyed with in this version. So in Cross Tekken, which is what I'm basing most of my frame data knowledge off of, her counter hit or her overhead on counter hit gave you access to getting the crouch medium punch into business, and here you don't. It doesn't come off anything, even on counter hit. You just don't get anything unless I'm linking very poorly. I couldn't get it to work. I believe that is, yeah, that's medium punch to towards or back, heavy punch, which will result in launching the opponent, and then actually the heavy punch can be canceled into a DP. Or into anything, actually. It's cancelable, obviously. Into super, whatever you want to try out, you can do it. And I do like that about her. She seems to have a bit more stuff to cancel with this game. That is our air target combo, which is jump middle or jump medium punch into roundhouse, which is pretty cool. So now we get into her special attacks, and probably my biggest gripe with the character, which is the fact that she lost her projectile store ability. I was hoping she still kept her hold like kick keys or the kick buttons to store fireballs, but she doesn't have it anymore. It's kind of different. I don't mind that per se. The fact that really you do the motion twice, so you do it once, you get the store, you do it again, you get the actual attack. The problem I have with it is, one, her projectile is only the light kick one, and it's low. It's the low one, and then two, it does not go very far. The other stores actually store a kick special, so she plays more like Jam in that sense, actually. From if you're familiar with Guilty Gear, and during the game, I'm sure people have already noticed and seen that if they've been playing story mode. But like when she does her stores, it actually shows a meter at the bottom of what she has stored, so you can keep track of it, and also so your opponent can keep track of it. So you know she has stored up at all times. I said, I'm not a huge fan of it, but it's not bad. It's not terrible. I just hate, the only thing I don't like is the fact that like they just reduce her zoning to nothing, basically. It's decent. Her fireball goes about, what? Man. It doesn't go anywhere, really. Like, maybe 2 character lengths in front of her. So, she can be annoying from a certain distance, but she can't play a zoning game like she used to be able to play. Her fireballs never went full screen, as we all know, if we're all Juri players. But it's just, I hate missing the aspect of her game. That's one of the reasons I played her. But it's not all dreary and dreary and dark. Because she has a DP now. It's pretty cool. They actually turned her Fuha, or not Fuha, her Senpushi into a DP. So the light kick will still give you the light kick Senpushi you know and love from the original game, from what I can tell. But then the heavier ones give her anti-airs. So the medium one goes decent amount, the heavy one goes decent amount. They seem to be about the same, really, just higher. And then the EX one gives her a Kim Cat Wan ending kick that knocks you down to the ground. And I love that because, oh my god, as anybody knows that knows me, Kim Cat Wan's one of my favorite characters of all time as well. I love Kim Cat Wan. I love Kim. I'm gonna play him in the new King of Fighters 2. Anyway, this is about Juri. But they're both Taekwondo, so I had to mention that. Because really, that move, like the EX one straight up is just Kim Cat Wan. And here you see me trying to using it as an anti-air and seeing what it, what it can actually hit. If you do it early enough, it seems to catch most attacks without too much of a problem. But I have noticed, and it's probably, I don't know if it's been displayed here or not, because my video is actually kind of laggy because it's not fully rendered yet. But yeah, actually looking at the hurricane kick, it can get stuffed. Even the EX one, I don't think it's fully invincible, at least it doesn't have a great hitbox on it. So if you get crossed up, it will hit you. And if you do it too late, you will get stuffed completely. The light kick one is not that great for anti-air, from what I can tell, but the medium and heavy ones are pretty good. But like I said, they can be hit, so it's like certain. I don't know the exact frames of how that works. So what the invincibility is, it's really obnoxious. Yeah, it's really weird. I want more time to play with that, actually. I didn't go super into it because I had so much to kind of cover and see what everything was at. It's already going to be like, it's already like an hour of me practice stuff in training mode, just seeing how it goes. But yeah, wasn't a fan of how that worked. Her third special, she only has 3 specials, and she doesn't have her counter anymore, so let me get that out the way too. But her third special is this really cool overhead split kick. Like, I swear they really just sat back and said, you know what, that Kim Cat Wan character that we were like kind of mimicking, let's go ahead and do it further, because this is a Kim Cat Wan thing, for sure. This is a KOF move. But it's really cool, and I actually like this. And my first thoughts when I saw it was like, I wonder if this can get around projectiles, and sure enough, it can. I have Ken set to a couple of fireball setups, depending on what button he presses, so I can just know how to react to it, just to test it out. I don't know if this is like something you can really pull off in match without anticipating that they're going to throw a fireball and which one they're going to throw. If you do that flip kick at the wrong range, you will miss and you can get hit, like DP'd out, so you can get baited. If at the right range though, like I think it's going to be here, you will punish. And that was the roundhouse one. The roundhouse one goes almost full screen. And the ES one goes about the same one, almost full screen, but it also puts them in the juggle state, so you can actually get something off of that. So you do the EX one, what if I do here? Yep, and you can do a pinwheel. Probably can do anything else off of that, except super obvious, because you will be out of meter if you do that. And yeah, so it's just a timing thing as far as getting over fireballs, but I think that's really cool. I love that, actually. The timing, again, is pretty particular, because I don't know if it's projectile invincible or fully invincible. I doubt it's fully invincible. Probably just projectile invincible on certain parts of her body or something, like orbs. I don't know. Whatever it is, it's definitely not on startup. She may just be avoiding it completely. Her hitboxes might be, no, it's got to be something in there that's invincible in some parts, because I'm getting through the fireball. So somebody that's an expert on how hitboxes work can figure that one out and see where it's at right now. And again, this is all pre-release. This is not even final character, so this is in concept. She might not even have that move when the game releases, so who knows. But it's good to notice that it's there and kind of just get the properties out now. I think it's really cool. I hope she keeps this projectile invincibility. I think it's awesome. And so now I'm getting fully into the anti-airs, which of course her jump medium punch is pretty good for anti-airing, because you also get combos off of it. Jump medium punch, target combo in the air will actually knock them away, which I think is pretty good for an anti-air. Her crouch fierce is pretty good for anti-air. Crouch medium punch can work very specifically, but it's not great. And I get stuffed a couple of times trying to do crouch fierce here. I didn't do jab, but jab also works, because jab anti-air is a thing in this game. I actually hope that's removed for her character. We'll see. I don't necessarily care for jab anti-air. I don't think it's as egregious as some people think it is, but I'm not a fan of it, but I'm not totally against it. It just depends on the character. I don't think she necessarily needs jab anti-air if they improve her other anti-airs. But we'll see. Again, this is pre-release. Maybe she'll still have it. Maybe she won't. And then her EX flip kick, obviously, is just a good anti-air in general. Like I said, the only problem is it's not completely like invincible. As you also saw there too, there's a freeze frame where I kind of looked at the. There was a issue with the crouch fierce where he just hurricane kicked over it. Excuse me. And now looking at her V skill, I don't know anything about this V skill yet. I'm actually very not in love with it. I guess it's a replace her counter for story reasons, which I won't get into because I don't want to spoil that for anybody who has not played her prologue or seen it. But yeah, it's like super punishable. Like super punishable. It's punishable on starter when you look at it. It's punishable when you do the kick. Like you have to be catching somebody doing a move that is like super laggy for you to get that off and not get hit. It can trade in certain instances. Definitely can trade with like invincible moves and DPs. If you can anticipate it, DPs will autocorrect on it. I don't know. I don't know what the purpose of the move is. Somebody have to enlighten me on that. What I do like about it is that it's very similar to FADC and CADC. For those that don't know, that's focus attack, dash cancel, and charge attack, dance cancel. If you play Street Fighter, you know what I'm talking about. If you've not played Cross Tekken, you have no idea what CADC is. It's kind of similar to that because you don't actually get a free hit like FADC does. Like you can't absorb a hit. You just charge it and that's it. You can cancel out your move with it. V trigger. Pretty dope. Pretty much just makes so she doesn't have to use any stores anymore. She just does all her moves automatically without storing anything up. So you can throw fireballs as much as you want to. You can do her spin kicks. It's pretty cool. The problem is that when she throws fireballs, it eats chunks out of her trigger pretty fast. She can throw 6 fireballs continuously, and they go, I don't want to say full screen. I'll say like 2/3. Yeah, like 2/3 of the screen. They don't go that far. They like her EX fireballs on the fact they hit twice. Again, they skim the ground, which is kind of annoying because she doesn't have a higher option for fireballs. So it's like, okay, well, if I go against a fireball, what would it say Ryu or somebody? It goes under it, but I don't have anything to stop their fireball aside from my actual kick. So she can't really win in these zoning wars. Her V reversal is pretty dope. They took the beginning animation of her Ultra and used that of her old Ultra, and it's pretty cool. I thought that on block it would be super punishable, and even when it's blocked, it looks like it should be really punishable. Like that looks super punishable, but it's not for some reason. I don't know how that works. They really put a lot of block stun on it, and you'll see that later because again I'm going to test some stuff and see how it is on recovery. Her critical art, I think it's pretty cool, and I hope it stays this way. I know a lot of people are like, oh, we need something more flashy, something better, yada yada yada. I think this has more utility. I think it's really cool. I love that flip. The fact it's a giant projectile that covers 2/3 of the screen. If you hit from far away with it, the most damage you get from what I saw was about 150. It can get less damage than that if it trades with stuff. Since it's a projectile. But up close, like even if you're like a 2K lengths away, it still will do the full 330, which is pretty nice. And it combos off of a lot of stuff that she has. It's just damn dope. In a moment you'll see here, I'm going to try and actually punish Ken with like fireball game with it as well. And it's kind of wonky in that sense. I don't know if you can use it as an anti-fireball per se, unless you know they're going to throw like a fireball you want to punish them for. And even then you won't get full damage, it's like closer. So like, right now I'm just testing to see if you actually get like any extra points of damage off the kick or anything, and you don't. So no surprise there. It seems to work as a punish because it seems pretty instantaneous. Like it's maybe like 5 frames. I don't know. Again, I'm just spitballing because I do not have I did not sit down and test the frames myself. Again, somebody wants to take this video and try and test it out and see. Feel free. But yeah, for far range, 150. I'm not a fan of it. It can trade with fireballs pretty easily, especially EX fireballs. Like if you see a slow fireball coming, like if you're sitting back waiting, you can punish that. Like if you know they're gonna throw a fireball, but you'll still the fireball eats some of the damage, so you just get like a basic knockdown. You saw they only did 60 damage from that far, so it's not the greatest unless you're like in the end of the match situation and you're trying to chip. In which case, yeah, they really can't do a lot about it if they don't have V meter. It's very situational in that sense, but it can be done, so it's there. It does eat other fireballs. They also have time to block if you do it too late. That EX may get through. No, it didn't. It ate the whole EX and it still did 222 damage. So at certain ranges, it's still pretty useful in that sense. On Wake Up, not the greatest thing because it can trade. You still get the full damage from what I saw. Actually, I got counter hit damage on that. It's 342. But if you're trying to like do that in the last ditch situation and you don't want to die, not the best. So from what I could see from everything that I tried, from like her old hit confirms from both cross and from 4, the one that I saw that stuck, that worked, was medium punch into light kick. That seems to work okay. So she can go medium punch light kick into DP, medium punch light kick into fireball, that kind of stuff. Fireball actually didn't combo from what I can tell because it's too slow. But yeah, now we're looking at like stuff that can be punished. So I'm looking at all her moves. It just seemed like from range, what can be punished by Cammy super and what can't be punished. I was trying to find a super that was like pretty instant, pretty quick, without being Zangief's 0 frame, because that punishes everything that's not close. I'm sorry, that is close. So I was like, okay, well, let me use Cammy's, because Cammy's is pretty damn quick. I'm pretty sure it's like 3 or 4 frames on top of my head. But yeah, certain stuff, like just once she hits with it, like I thought that'd be super unsafe, but it's actually decently safe. That wasn't. So that certain range of stuff is not safe. That was stand roundhouse, and actually it's safer than I ever would have gave it credit for. Now there's so much stuff she does, I'm like, that just looks like it should be unsafe. Like even that was like super just DP right after you're done. So a lot of her stuff actually it feels safer this time around. I'm not gonna say it's like super safe. Obviously jab's gonna be safe, of course. Crouch medium punch should be pretty safe. It's probably like -2 or -1 or something. Crouch fear, she's dead. I knew it was gonna happen. Crouch short's pretty decent. Crouch medium kick, I think that was, yeah, it ended up being alright. And then crouch roundhouse, sweep, of course, it's not safe. I'm not trying to see how far I can get away with you know, that roundhouse. Super didn't do it. I mean, Super did it easily. But even like Cammy's crouch medium kick was like my litmus test for how safe is your sweep. It hit it. So, but her standing medium kick's pretty good to get around those grounded posts. It's pretty good for that. Seems pretty dope. I think that would work. What else do I test after this? And for some reason, there we go. I'm testing like our kick moves again just to make sure and see what Cammy can actually punish. Yeah, that's crouch medium punch or kick, and then crouch roundhouse. I keep saying fierce or roundhouse, getting them mixed up. I don't know why I keep doing that. I'm very bad at terminology. It's because I keep wanting to use the old school terminology and the new stuff. So I keep saying like fierce and I say strong or heavy punch. It's weird. Her fireball is actually decently safe. I'm not gonna say it's perfectly safe because I don't have frame data in front of me. This is my better way of testing it, but it seems to be safe. Her store, I expected that to be safe because it was safe in previous games. That was like her main combo ender or her main pressure ender to keep from dying. And even up close, it's pretty cool. You don't have to worry about too much. Might be DPable, but I don't think so. Her kick specials, though, they're all very unsafe. Don't do them on block, at least from what I can tell from here. They seem very not good on block, which makes sense. I mean, it's more of an attack than actually like pressure. You don't want to use those for pressure, so I can see that being the case. Her EX is also not safe. Her EX, oh, actually that one is safe. I take that back. What is one I did that wasn't safe? Her light kick DP, her light kick Senpucha. I'm gonna call it Senpucha. That's what it is to me, but I don't know. It's probably called something else now. At the right distance, it's actually pretty safe. Do it up close, you get punished. That's punishable. So at least it seems somewhat safe. I mean, it wasn't super punished, so okay. These are all super unsafe. Like, she can't even finish the motion before Cammy hits her. So it's like, alright, cool. You still in the air? Got you. Gotcha, bitch! So there's all, you know, there's that. I was definitely expecting that. I figured that might trade because it's EX, but that just kind of proves that it's not really all that defensive. Her flip kicks are all, they seem fairly unsafe. That one, I think, is the light one. They actually seem okay from the right range. Like, if you're from the right range, they're probably hard to punish. Which I hope that stays that way because it's already was doing that flip kick because it's like 19 frames of flashiness. You probably get super on reaction. But at the right distance, so I think right about here is still unsafe. Yeah, it is. So I move back a little bit more. Nope, that's not even like right there. Slightly back a little more, right about there. That should be safe. Yeah. I believe that was safe too. Yep. So the flip kick is actually not as terrible as I figured it would be. But clearly, if you misspace it, you're dead. So keep that in mind. Even if like the full screen one from the right distance, you're okay. Like, I mean, again, this depends on what move you use too to punish it. So I'm not sure her Kami Super is the best thing to use, but as far as things that were like super and almost instantaneous, it seems pretty decent. And I mean, Kami Super hits pretty much everything from like as soon as you do it. Once that super freeze hits your head. So I think the next thing I tested was that. Yep, her V skill is just cause like even when you're charging, it's like if Kami supers while you're charging it, you're dead. You have to. There's a certain fixed time you do her V skill that you cannot let go of it. Even if you want to cancel out of it and dash, you have to hold it for like, I want to say half a second. I'm not sure what the frame. Again, I don't have the frame data like down or anything. I didn't write it down. I didn't check it out like that. But some amount of time you have to have it held. And like if you don't have it held that long, it's just nothing you can do. Her V reversal, if it's blocked, she's safe from what I can tell. Which again surprised me. I'm figuring it's probably mine too, like most of them are. But it looked like it was gonna be much less safe. So overall, I love the animations that she has. Like, look at these kicks and like the poses she takes after. I have these all in slow motion because this just looks so cool. I love what they did with her animations, and I actually do like the style they gave her. She feels even more unique now. At the same time, while feeling more like a like she would be a Taekwondo-based character. I like the whole biker multi she has going on now. The design of the outfit. I like a lot of her new moves. Especially that overhead kick. I'm like, that is so dope. Or not overhead, it's not really an overhead, but the splits kick she does from like full screen, I think that's really dope. And the fact it goes over fireball is really cool. Because of that, I don't mind losing the counter. The counter was always kind of a gimmick anyway. I am gonna miss it because it was something that I thought made her character. But again, story reasons calculated that, and I won't spoil anything. So, but yeah, I do like a lot about her, about this new version of her, especially the DP Senpusha, because like I really felt like her cartwheel kicks outside of her light one were basically just basically combo food. That was it, because other than that, you didn't use them for anything like in match. You couldn't really, like, I think in cross Tekken at worst I would use the roundhouse version of her Senpusha to punish Brian on stuff, maybe. No, I couldn't have used it then, it was too slow. So I like the fact they gave it more of a use in this, like an anti-air. It feels more like it has an actual utility now rather than it being something flashy as she has. Also don't mind her losing the actual hold the kick button to store mechanic the more I think about it, because the one problem that she had with that before was that whenever she used that, she lost access to her other moves. So I think they were trying to resolve that issue when they changed it up, and that's perfectly fine. I think that it works okay. The fact you do the motion twice, I think that's okay, because it's still the same mechanic. It's just you're no longer holding the kick button like that. It does make her combos a little bit more weird, I guess, but I think it still works. It still works and solves that problem. So not a huge deal, I don't think. On the other hand, I am really sore about her projectile ability being taken away from her, and maybe that'll make it into the final version of the character. Hopefully, somebody gets into in the Capcom's ear, in the Combo Fiend's ear, maybe, please give her at least her mid-level projectile back and let it go a little bit further so you can do some zoning. It would be nice to have some other zoners in the game. But oh, look at her critical art animation. I love it so much. I really do. I love everything about this version of the character right now, except for the lack of projectiles, and that's really my only complaint. So yeah, that's all I got. Thank you for watching this, and again, this character's unfinished as far as they say. So yeah, later.